Will post-Avatar depression syndrome ever be added to the DSM? Only time will tell, but hopefully The Way of Water will inspire hope rather than longing for the beautiful fantasy world of Pandora. Now that Avatar: The Way of Water is finally playing in theaters the world over, first-time travelers and returning visitors can finally rediscover the dazzling world of Pandora. In 2009, when the original Avatar transported audiences to James Cameron's stunning, unspoiled moon, a huge number of fans became enamored with the ways of the Na'vi alien race. Many people already suffer from seasonal depression, but Avatar caused another kind of malaise. It occurred when some moviegoers left Pandora and suddenly found themselves back in the real world. The condition was eventually labeled post-Avatar depression syndrome. After seeing a flourishing culture like the Na'vi that was so in tune with nature, some people had a hard time readjusting to the concrete jungle where their own homes were located. The creative team responsible for the sequel is dedicated to delivering an even more immersive experience for fans. Hopefully, it will cure any residual sadness they've had after waiting 13 years for a return trip to Pandora. Getting together with the Na'vi convert Jake Sully, his strong-willed wife Neytiri, and their kids after all this time feels like a family reunion of sorts. Even seeing Colonel Quaritch again, in live action and Avatar form, is a welcome sight. With the continuation of the story, Avatar fans have the remedy they need for what's been ailing them. In fact, the introduction to the remote ocean islands of Pandora transports us all to a vibrant underwater world that's arguably even more enchanting. Early on in the sequel, the Sully family must leave their home with the Omotikaya clan after an Avatar clone of Colonel Quaritch and his fellow Blue Marines begin to hunt them relentlessly. To keep the rainforest tribe safe, they travel a great distance to a small village occupied by the Water Clan of the Metkayina in hopes of finding refuge. The Metkayina clan agrees to shelter them and teach the Sullys their ways and culture. In doing so, audiences are exposed to an entirely new way of life, right alongside Jake, Neytiri, and their children Neteyam, Loak, Kiri, and Little Took. We learn the differences between the dragon banshees of the floating mountains and the seafaring flying fish dragons known as skimwings. Each family member bonds with new creatures, and they learn how to dive, allowing them to explore and connect with the magical underwater life of Pandora in ways never thought possible. Because of the astounding world building on display, the audience gets to live vicariously through the main characters, experiencing the underwater majesty without the danger of drowning. The ocean world of Pandora opens up even more when telepathic whales, called Tulkun, are brought into the fold. The Tulkun are sacred to the Metkayina, with many forming familial bonds with the massive creatures that last a lifetime. These sequences are exhilarating and invite audiences to fall even deeper in love with the vast, complex world that's been created. There's more to see and do on this faraway planet than ever before, and the themes of family and acceptance could deepen the level of affinity audiences have developed for Pandora's inhabitants. Hopefully, the expansion of Cameron's world won't create an emotional backlash that ushers in a second wave of post-Avatar depression. That seems unlikely, seeing how the marine life of Pandora contains a more inviting array of creatures than the more threatening wildlife found among the Avatar rainforests. Simply put, The Way of Water is a much more welcoming environment to return to. On top of that, the visual fix and emotional catharsis provided in Avatar: The Way of Water should be exactly what fans need to hold them over until the next film. Back in 2009, people didn't know if they'd ever get to return to the world of Pandora. When Disney's Animal Kingdom opened a Pandora theme park, being able to take a 3D ride on the back of a banshee was a welcome distraction for mega fans. But it wasn't the same. A sprawling yet surprisingly intimate sequel was just what the doctor ordered.